Hello. Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. How are we, everybody? Hope things are all going well with you. So, today at Jester Towers, I've got for you an article from the Telegraph that we're going to do a little overview of. I've, got this kind of cold reading thing I'm going to do, just because I haven't had a chance to have a look at it yet, but I think it's liable to be of interest to everybody, as it's in regard to the schools still supporting trans ideology behind parents' backs. In addition, I think this may involve the warrior teachers. We love it when they're causing trouble. Or not. I cannot confirm nor deny this fact. Other than that, let's get started. Oh, buy me a coffee if you can. Subscribe, share this, for God's sake. Right now, X, for example, quote posting, quote tweeting, whatever you want to call it, is important, but replying is now the most important thing. So if you put something up and you reply, hello, I like that. No, what did you think? That's the way the new algorithm works. Oh, and here we got some good news, haven't we? I understand that the Girls' Institute and the Women's Guides, not that, the wrong way around, the Women's Institute and the Girl Guides have finally begun their journey back to normality after God knows how many years of utter lunacy, particularly in the case of the Women's Institute, involving pictures on the front of their magazines with gusset fumblers hiding behind birch trees. A very extraordinary thing to see indeed. So let's begin. At the beginning, the schools still supporting trans ideology behind parents' backs. Yes, that's what it says. It's a horror show, right? A delay by the government in the publication of crucial advice means teachers continue to help vulnerable children change gender. Published within the space of 12 months, the Cass Review and the Supreme Court gender ruling were hailed as fundamental shifts away from the trans ideology that has captured just about every area of British public life. In April 2024, Hilary Cass's inquiry into NHS services for gender-questioning children concluded that social transitioning was not a neutral act and prompted a ban on the routine issuing of puberty blockers to children. Cass's report was followed in April 2025 by the Supreme Court's judgment that the definition of woman under the Equality Act related to biological sex, not gender identity, paving the way for single-sex spaces, such as toilets, to be reserved for biological women or men. I wish they'd just say women or men, and where they say not gender identity, I do wish they'd say not the nonsense that is gender identity. Not the nonsense that is. Described as watershed moments by clinicians and women's rights groups, the two events led some high-profile organisations to withdraw controversial Stonewall diversity schemes. Not enough. Reinstate single-sex facilities. Not enough. And reassess what ideas previously regarded as sacrosanct. At the very least, there was a commitment to review policies. In schools, however, here comes the rub. It has been very different. According to whistleblowing parents, governors and staff, a pro-trans rearguard action is underway, with activists in schools, local authorities, unions, sex education groups, charities and other external bodies determined to ensure schools stay gender-affirming, teaching children they can change sex. It's the 5th of December today, 2025, and we've still got, essentially, a medieval cult calling the shots. It's beyond the pale to me. I mean, you'll tell me what you think in the bloody Dubris, but it's beyond the pale. What is going on? What? Then they've got an example. A new LGBTQ policy approved by the governing body at Paddocks Primary School in Rugby, Warwickshire in June this year is a case in point. It says that trans individuals, no such thing, can use the toilet and changing facilities that correspond with their gender identity. No such thing. In other words, people who believe in nonsense can also do nonsense things based on the nonsense they believe. Telling a people's parents, they continue, that their child is trans is described as outing. Trans is a massive safeguarding red flag. So what does trans mean? Well, it means puberty blockers. It means genital mutilation. It means involvement in a cult. It means a break from reality. It means you're anti-science. You have to buy into the whole EDI thing then, don't you? This is just a train that takes them on the way. So trans is a huge red flag. Victims who are bullied because of their gender identity can choose whether their parents are told. Well, if you're saying you've got a gender identity, then you're choosing to be bullied. It's that simple. Those on what the schools call a transition care plan. I mean, for the love of God. there's no such thing as transition care, and it shouldn't be a plan. Apparently they could choose their name and pronouns. Victoria O'Dell, the head teacher of Paddock Primary School, says the school has not yet finalised or published an LGBTQ plus policy. Any approach we do adopt will align with national guidelines. Teachers are driven by process. They're driven 100% by process. According to Shelley Charlesworth from Transwriter Trend, hello Shelley, which campaigns for factual teaching and policies about sex and gender in schools, the school's policy flies in the face of the Cash Review, the official statutory guidance on safeguarding, and the Supreme Court ruling. It is riddled with trans activist language, promotes social transition of children behind their backs of their parents, and encourages the idea that children can change sex. It's just insane. She warns, guidance like this is putting children with gender-related distress at risk of harm. Another parent in the southeast ran up against a brick wall when she challenged the transgender policy of her child's private school. Despite the CAS advice that schools should not proactively initiate social transition, her child's school website states that changes of name and associated gender identity will be respected and accommodated, as it is a real indicator that the trans pupil is taking steps to, or proposing to, move towards a gender they feel they wish to live in. For God's sake. These are teachers. These are teachers. If I was a bloody head teacher, none of this bullshit would be going on. If I was a head teacher, I can tell you now. What do you mean you think you're a girl? Right, you've got 5 seconds to withdraw that, or I'm expelling you, you weirdo. And then tie him up in court for the next 5 years. That's what I do. Go on, you loon. I'm not a very kind man, can you tell? The parent said, and rightly so, this definition is just nonsense. I made a formal complaint but was told that the policy was sound. The school is ideologically captured from the head teacher to the librarian. At one point, the school was posting daily messages promoting gender ideology as fact. It was constant. Dozens of schools across the country have a similar transgender policy. When the Telegraph checked for this article, it appeared on the website of the Base Academy Trust, which runs 2 primary schools in Bolton, as well as Chosen Hill in Gloucestershire, Chatham and Clarendon Grammar School in Ramsgate, Kent, Hurst Pierpoint College, an independent school in West Sussex, Ellesmere Port Catholic High School in Cheshire, Oakwood Academy in Manchester, 4 private schools for children with special educational needs run by Edijester in the north, and many more. This is endemic. It's endemic with these unbelievable morons. I don't know what to tell you, apart from, go read the damned article. There's a gift link. So you can read it, all right, because it's a long article. It goes on. But they rattle on about intersex and bisexual, the usual nonsense. These people are all bloody insane. We need somebody who's going to take them by the scruff of the neck and bring them screaming to their knees. What you do with this is teach against it. Teach it for what it is, a cult. That's simple. Put it into a historical context along with the Scopsy and various other Sibyl cults, all the ones that have existed through time, and you teach it as a cult, which is what it is, and you teach it as the first virtual cult, which is why it's so popular, and you teach people who believe it and who are part of it as cult members. It's that simple. The whole damn thing's a red flag. End it now. Well, that's my thinking. I'll look forward to hearing yours in the notes. Remember, it's not notes, in the doobries. Remember, it's a gift, so you can go and read it. Go read it, all right? I'll see you later. Ta-ta.